Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from our studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you all the awesome board game coverage and our first impression session of our PSI Presents stream, where we go over our favorite aspects, constructive criticisms, and the most important question of the evening of would we play the game again for the game we just showed off on our PSI Presents segment. And tonight, that was welcome to your dream neighborhood, favorite neighborhood? Perfect neighborhood.
Perfect home.
Perfect home. There we go. Sorry about that. It's welcome to whatever you want it to be.
That's the point that
That's
I was
the point.
trying.
Welcome to Twist Gaming.
There you go.
Let Matt drag that on because that is the point. It gets to be welcome to whatever you want it, and in this case, other way.
Twist Gaming.
Welcome to Twist Gaming.
But who is Twist Gaming? That's us. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
As I said, we're Twist Gaming. So tonight we showed off welcome to your perfect home. Josh, what kind of game was this?
So
This is pretty unique, I
Write
know.
and play is technically, I think, the correct term for this.
Yeah.
Where we all get our own little...
Player sheets?
Matt, can you just go over the hand cam because that looks horrible.
I
as
mean...
Cards play, and I forgot to take the Skype off that, so it's a little weird. But yeah, you write numbers down, and you do different actions on your sheet, and you could play from 1 to a bajillion people.
There you go.
We could have everyone in the world play this at the same time, and you could still add more players.
Yep.
It's a lot of paper.
That's a lot of paper. Well, you could also play digitally. There's a companion app
Yeah,
that
there
scores
is.
along with you. So, in this game, you are playing as a neighborhood developer in 1950s nostalgia America, and your goal is to create the perfect neighborhood. And you're doing that by building houses down the street. And Josh, I'm actually going to, while I'm doing this, can you go remove the Skype window there so I can go and show this board off in a second? So, you're trying to build the perfect neighborhood by creating a neighborhood where you're writing the houses down in sequential order, left to right, while also building some extra amenities such as parks, such as pools, and there's other things going on as well. But the key is that everyone's writing in from 3 available options, and everyone chooses from the same 3 options each turn. So each turn those options refresh. So you only have 3 numbers to pick from during each turn, and there might be repeats. So one turn might be 1, 1, 2, or something to that effect. But you're trying to write them down. It is a bell curve of the numbers, so there's significantly more 8s than there are 1s and 15s.
There are 9 8s and 2 1s.
There you go.
I wrote it down.
So you're trying to complete objectives. You're trying to build parks. You're trying to build pools. You're trying to do you're hiring construction crews
Temp workers.
Temp workers.
We're making jobs for America.
We are, and then you're raising real estate rates in your estates in your estates to drive up prices. You're creating businesses to create variances to help you out here. So like I have 6 and 6A there, and then you're trying not to do any oopsies. So we're going to talk about first our favorite aspects of the game. And Josh, I'm going to toss it to you because you were the winner chicken dinner this evening.
Favorite aspects?
Yeah.
All right. Everything? Does that work?
I guess you could say that. I mean,
No, I like the variable player count. I like the. So no, this is a very rare situation where the Spotlight game, the PSI game, did not actually make it here in time for the stream, but we were still able to play because I was able to print these out and I'm just gonna green screen more. Oh yeah, there we go. Print them out and. We had our guests actually just show off the cards on their screen because it works that way. And then we had everyone in chat play with us. Mm-hmm. And then, like, if you're watching the video on demand, you could actually print out a sheet and
Play against us and see if you can beat our
see how you
scores.
can beat our scores or not. So I really love that expandability of it. I like how everything was on the sheet and everything like that. And I was actually doing pretty well up to the end. I got 1 penalty at the end.
Yeah. I love that there's so many different ways to score here. So you have your parks where you're trying to get more parks in each neighborhood, so you're scoring the lowest showing number. So, for example, you showed a 0, but as soon as you mark over the 0 by building your first park, then you'd score a 2 for this for this street. So that's how you're doing the parks. The pools, you're just you need to build the house on a lot with a pool when the pool card is showing. That's enabling you to make a pool, and then you're getting better at making pools, and you're going to cross these numbers off. So that's an increasing scale there. You have your temp workers, which I love the temp workers, because they allow you to swing the construction by +2 or -2, so they really help you fill in the blanks in this. And then those actually give you bonus points based on the total quantity you have compared to everyone else in the game. So it's not, there's some interplay aspects there. really unique one was the raising the real estate rates here. So you can basically say you have subdivisions or
This is how you
estates.
got a lot of
Estates.
your points.
It is. This is what I went for from the beginning of the game. And so one of the options that you have is fences, and you can draw fences in between the houses. Good fences make good neighbors, folks. But the larger area you have in between your fences, the more points they're worth for the subdivisions. And so I went ahead and made a whole bunch of 6 subdivisions and used this to increase the rate of that 6-block subdivision. And then finally, if you screw up, if you make an oopsie and you have a 12 and a 13 but nothing in between, you can actually use a business to make a business address to make 12A to fill in the blank. And I thought that was a neat way to help out too. Couple that in with the floating unique objectives. I think that was really cool. So there's just a lot of ways to score. And it was a little daunting at first. I think you especially.
If you flip over that sheet on board game, so Tiffany was kind enough. Like I said, we didn't yet have the game. Deepwater had air freighted in their copies for Gen Con, so our game was being overnighted to us, but there was an issue with shipping, so I didn't have a rule book. So I sat there writing down all of the instructions as we were going, and you can see that it's a little daunting if you just look at the instructions, but as you get going, even for the first round, it's very intuitive.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I picked it up super duper quick.
Yep.
I thought it was really very elegant how easy it was to pick up the game, considering how much there is to do.
I think you guys touched on a lot of the positive points that I enjoyed about this game. I really enjoyed the kind of puzzle aspect to it. It's definitely a lighter game. It's not something that I would sit down to play with like a group of maybe like super gamers to play a deep gamer game, but it's a nice.
He's
Were
hissing.
you going to correct my
No, I wasn't gonna correct
opinion?
you.
He's going to say that there
my
are
own
some
opinion.
strategy elements
I
in
think
here.
it would be very interesting if you played it with a very heavy gamer group, because your game wouldn't probably would not end early from penalties and stuff, and a lot of people are going to be it's going to be a longer, more strategic game, as people are trying to work things out. I think
I like the
I think
ability.
it would play differently depending on the group. That's what I'm just trying to finish my sentence. Go.
Go ahead, Ann.
Love you.
I thought it was really interesting, the puzzle piece trying to get the houses between 3 and 15. I also really like the art style, the whole 1950s kind of look. It's originally a French game, which made it very interesting to me that the theme was 1950s America. And being in South Florida, this is a very South Florida planned community kind of look to it. So I really enjoyed that as well.
All right, so I think we touched on all the positive aspects because we talked about everything in the game. So I think we're going to switch over to the constructive criticisms portion here. And I don't know what to talk about here. The one thing that I might want to say is that I kind of wish that the temp workers bonus was a little bit more because it seemed minimal compared to the other ones. Whereas with the objectives, everyone was scoring in the teens to maybe low 20s. The parks, everyone was in the teens. The pools, everyone was in the teens. This one was 7 points if you're in the lead, 4 points if you're in second place, 1 point if you're in third place.
But I also think since it's a temp worker and it's helping you place things on the board easier.
Right. I get why it's a lower value because it is something that's
I
allowing you to place things more conveniently.
I think it's one of those things that we're just going to give you points since you did spend so many turns doing that.
Yeah.
That you don't feel like you got no points because of it.
Right. And how about you? Any constructive criticisms you have with this game?
No, I'm kind of a quick reference guide. Oh my god, that's my big one. I don't have.
know. There actually was one. She showed it off in her camera. We just don't have one here. So.
How about you?
I like that she had a laminated sheet. It would have been kind of cool if they came with laminated sheets and dry erase markers.
Yeah, instead of
But
just
you couldn't make it like. You could only do like 10 of them.
Instead of the stack of what did she say, 100
Yeah,
sheets?
there's 100 in them. So
So I think that yeah, I kind of agree that I think I would have liked to have seen the dry erase markers and the laminated sheets in there, and then have that as like an additional purchase item or an add-on
I
item.
think if it came with 10 copies, and then you could just add copies, like more copies if you want, or just include the app or something, or make it so you just download the sheet if you want to download it. That would have been really cool, and just have 10 reusable boards. Kind of like how a few other games do. But yeah, laminators are expensive. But I think that would have been cool if these were the same kind of boards we used for what's the other game we played? Kodama?
Kokoro.
Kokoro.
Avenue of
Yes.
the Kodama. But also if you want to look at the other side of that, there is a companion app to help out,
Yep.
or a contribution app. What did you call it, Ann? Helper app?
Complimentary.
There you go, complimentary app, which alleviates a lot of that problem if you don't want waste.
So I can't make any comments on the rulebook or anything because we didn't get to see it since we didn't have the copy, and we didn't get a full production copy, so I can't say anything to that. That's where some of my criticism does come in, depending on that. But the game itself, the gameplay itself, I think is spot on.
I agree. I think it's a really nice, fun group game that plays pretty casually. If you wanted to, you could also sit and play heavy strat. Ann, any other points that you want to make?
Nope.
So, most important question of the evening: would you play this game again? Tossing it down the line there, Josh.
Yeah, of course.
Ann,
Yeah.
what about the kids?
I would definitely play this with the kids. I think that it's a nice, light game. I know you guys have your comments about heavy strat. I don't really agree. I wouldn't. I think that the most complicated thing in the game is trying to get the numbers to be sequential before you get knocked out. I mean, I can see some things with points and stuff. So I definitely think that this is more of a game that I would play light and with the kids and with the family. I would be interesting to see if my youngest one would be able to pick up on all the different options you can use, but sometimes with games when you have different ways to score, it doesn't really matter if they get all the nuances of all of the different options, because you can go heavy in one section that you really understand and still wind up on top. Like your scoring was not so great this round in these past couple of rounds in some of the other categories as compared to what Josh and I were able to accomplish, but once it came to the real estate value, which is where you put your points, it really pumped up your score.
Yeah, that's I focused solely on that from the beginning, and I kind of ignored the objective cards. So you guys got out to a really fast start because of that, which could be problematic if you're playing with the demo rules, as they were saying, where it ends as soon as someone completes all three.
You know, I did see the quick reference guide, and like I was saying, I think that that's probably my one criticism, is even though the quick reference guide was on the screen, and we don't have the quick reference guide with it, but the quick reference guide, again, was on the screen, I didn't use it.
Okay.
I think it could have. I think that could have been done better.
So what? In what sense? I'm just curious. Is it that
The iconography is nice. I guess it's a nice way to try and do a quick reference guide.
It's very language independent.
Yeah, which is nice when you've got a French game and you're bringing it over and you're translating it into different markets, and that's one of the things that Tiffany was saying was how quickly this game is going globally. But it didn't cover maybe what I don't know if it's because I didn't need it, because Tiffany was there.
I am going to be honest, I didn't look at it once.
Yeah.
Because I was... Honestly, the game kind of spells it out really simply on the individual player sheets, and it's...
The real estate lot one, I think, is the most confusing of the options.
Agreed. That's definitely the hardest option there.
Nyabari has a good point, too, that the fences don't translate well on the quick reference guide.
I honestly didn't even see it. But jumping back to the would we play it again? Yeah, I would definitely play this game again. I like the play time of it too. Like,
Yeah.
I think that it just kind of checked all the boxes, no pun intended there. But I very much enjoyed it. I would definitely play this game again. Trying out the different scoring strategies too.
You know what would be a neat expansion?
What's that?
A different neighborhood setup.
Yeah, That would be super simple to do too, because it would just be the player packs, the player sheets, and not anything else from the game.
I would totally be interested in doing this on a different map.
That's interesting.
Colder sacks.
Well, she mentioned that there was a looks left, looks right. Yes, I feel. We talked about the round. We didn't really dig into it, but we touched on the fact that there is a roundabout aspect to the game.
Yeah.
And that we were not going to play that, and that it sounds like it would add. Ooh.
I think she mentioned that it was the advanced rule set.
Yeah, it's advanced rule set, so we skipped over that.
So that was really great. I love the little girl with the purple hair and the heart. It's perfect.
It's you. All right, so guys, is there anything else that you wanted to add today before we wrap up this first impression session of Welcome to Your Favorite Twist? All right, so thank you all for watching us today. This is going to be Twist Gaming signing off. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
Josh.
And this concludes our first impression session of Welcome to. Have a good one, everyone.